8 years on, that glossy engagement interview, once seen as a fairy tale moment, is being replayed with a very different pair of eyes. Back then, fans saw a sweet couple cuddled up on a Kensington Palace sofa, announcing the happiest news of their lives. But now people are noticing details that weren't obvious in 2017, and suddenly, the whole thing feels less romance montage and more director Meghan. Scene 1. Body language experts say the clues were there all along. Harry sat slightly slumped, shoulders soft, head tilted, not sad, but passive, like a student waiting for the teacher to signal when to speak. Meanwhile, Meghan was upright, poised, fully on. The actress' energy was unmistakable: confident eye contact, controlled timing, smiles that flicked on and off like a stage light between cues. And then the real pattern showed itself. Harry didn't just talk. He waited to be prompted. Tiny pats on his hand. A nudge of her elbow. A quick glance that said, "Your line. Now." It was subtle, almost invisible in the moment, but when you rewatch it, it's impossible to miss. Experts call it soft power steering. Meghan guiding the pace. Meghan answering first. Meghan cutting in to protect the narrative. Harry following her signals almost like choreography. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Meghan later dismissed the BBC interview as an orchestrated reality show. But Mishal Hussaini, calm, composed, drama-free Mishal, simply responded, "Recollections may vary." Translation: the interview wasn't staged, but someone certainly was directing. Rewatch the proposal question and the dynamic hits you instantly. The reporter asks Harry to describe the moment. Before he even begins, Meghan gives a firm little pat, a cue. Harry launches into the story. She smiles, nods, and when he pauses, she immediately jumps in with a polished, glowing recap. He proposes while roasting a chicken. She gushes, "I could barely let him finish." But then comes the first real crack. When the topic shifts to how they met, Harry begins answering slowly, and Meghan abruptly cuts him off with a warning smile and a reminder that they need to protect their privacy. Her tone shifts, her leg moves, her fingers drum on his hand. The director's signal had changed, not this. "Stop talking." Harry's response? A soft rub of her thumb, like a question. She covers his hand again. Conversation controlled. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. People who worked for the royals at the time say the flags were all there, just hidden behind the halo of engagement excitement. Meghan's answers sounded polished, rehearsed. Harry's sounded careful. And with hindsight, the contradictions stand out like neon signs. She said they met on a blind date, he later said Instagram. She said she knew nothing about the royal family. Old photos show teenage Meghan posing at Buckingham Palace and running a blog where she analyzed royal news. In the moment, they looked perfectly in love. Now, the same interview looks like the first chapter of a much more complicated story, one where two people were already navigating tension, power balance, and very different expectations of what their future would be. And maybe that's why, years later, Meghan still defends her reactions while the BBC firmly sticks to its version. The interview didn't cause their problems, but it exposed the dynamic that would later define them. Because sometimes the truth isn't in what people say. It's in the pauses. The hand squeezes. The nudges. The tiny signals caught only by cameras and understood only in hindsight.